10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I am in here. So I'm bringing in positive energy, and right now I'm just being psychically guided. I figured out a wonderful way how I want to do my live streams. Uh, I also figured out how to add, I guess, sort of titles or little captions. The up top where it says misinterpretation of an artist's artistic expression. I can't wait for that. And it's going to be a live stream. Uh, I'll have to somehow tell you all about it because it's one of those psychic, very powerful psychic prophecy style videos of mine. Oh, yeah, they're back already. So I will definitely look towards sharing my findings and talking a great deal about that. Also, I'm getting, in the habit of, um, delivering, the exciting, of course, psychic information, but of course, I wanted that sort of live stream style that I'm looking for, and I'm getting better at it. There's still some things that I'm also discovering. I guess some features I'm still discovering along the way, and I'll get to the point where I will, as you say. So we ever get to the point where you're actually on stream and you've got, yes, I will have no choice because, well, I guess my role does incorporate what we call like video slash chat type style psychic readings. It's kind of like an in-person reading but online, kind of like whenever I'm live stream but I'm actually visible. So that is coming up, and so with that said, I will already be in the action of presenting, I guess, as like on camera. So I will I'm pretty sure there's going to be a crossing over where I'm also doing it for my YouTube channel. But for now, actually, and here we go. One second. Oh boy. All right. All right. Now, where was I? I I got sort of taken for a second, but I came back. All right. So I kind of figured that would happen because I'm telling you, they do know. They know stuff. I'm telling you, they know if I'm eating or preparing to eat, I should say. They know when I'm thinking about going live. They'll be quiet as a church mouse, as they say. And then the moment I push live and I get nested in, they'll ring me up because they know I'm live. That's how I always interpret it. Like I was guaranteeing. I was like, I know they're gonna call me, and that's why I said, you know what? I'll play um, some music. I think I played the wrong song though. Oh well. I tried. I just grabbed the one that had like the most time on it. But anyways, oh yes, I have been looking for like some theme music, but I don't really care for the intro that way. I don't know if I'll ever have one, but sometimes if I'm going to do sometimes like I'll plan a show and I'm thinking, oh, I absolutely want to do a show where I'm uh, channeling a particular theme, and it would require some music. So I did find a few pieces. The next one that I'm going to be doing actually is going to. I don't want to say it on if I say it and I put a lot of energy into a stream and then they say, "Oh, we're sorry, but this is this is yes, my the inform I don't know if it's what I'm saying, it's the topic." And yeah, they say something like that uh, they don't it's like not the right market for that particular discussion. And it's not a wild discussion. It's just more my prophecies. I think they're prophecies, right? And they all come true because I still have the recordings where they come true, but it's just they these prophecies are talking about what's going on in the world. But however, I have found a place where I can distribute that content, and my channel it's growing. It's growing. I'm seeing more positives than everything. So, but as soon as I am able, I will be able to direct people to obtain the, uh, I guess, the information where to locate the particular video that I will still do my psychic predictions of the world, my universal predictions, my psychic prophecies, powerful prophecies. I will continue to do those. As I stated, I have one coming. I've got one upcoming soon. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. It will be amazing. The particular prophecy that I will share is actually going to answer a lot of questions. It's kind of like start picking up from where my prophet, if you are familiar, prophecies that I left them behind, and actually will move forward, like starting from where I left off and picking up in what's to come. But there is an area that I've not covered, and it has a lot to do with astrology. So I will be taking a particular person's uh, birth chart. You'll know if I say the name. And we're going to take a look, an in-depth look into their astrological life and also some things about them. That's why, oh, and the thumbnail I have it is amazing. I created the thumbnail. Yes, I've gone back to creating my wonderful thumbnails. Oh yeah, so it's gonna be excellent, and that's why it's called a misinterpretation of an artist's artistic expression. But if you see the thumbnail, that little phrase right at the top, it will make sense. It will make sense. It doesn't make much sense now, but I like the color. It goes well with my stream. And this is the same formatting I'm going to definitely use when I go live. But I can't do that at this time, not while I am plugged into the world, because the world will call and talk to me anytime, any moment. So, yeah, this live actually is not really meant to do much. I'm just like I don't intend to. In fact, I'm going to tuck this one. This one is just I'm just connecting. You know how sometimes I come in and I connect with my channel. I'm live, just connecting with the energy, feeling good about the energy, um, and shuffle my cards, answer, the phone, because I'm working. I'm a working psychic. So, uh, and just try to feel good about the day. The good thing also is that okay, so I have worked with top major psychic companies. So there's the final one that I've never worked for before. But yet, now I interviewed for them recently, and they have actually welcomed me. So I'm going through the formalities of being brought on to I deem as the absolute, the toughest. They said they only hire only but a fraction of psychics who come to wanting to join with them. So I'm excited about that, and they only will select the best of the best. So I'm going to be working in my field among the best of the best colleagues. So I'm thrilled for that experience. I do believe I'm ready, and so I'm handling the anxiety of like when are they going to reach back out to me and tell me, okay, let's go, let's start, start dates and things, colors of contracts and such. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna be very, very busy. Oh, by the way, I am very busy these days too. Extremely busy. So, oh my gosh, yesterday all I was thinking was, oh, they're just gonna just talk to me all day, aren't they? The whole time I'm on. And they're feeling a little comfortable with me. Now, I did have one kind of hiccup. You know, one of my clients, I gave them a reading. I was like, you know, they want to go. They're moving to France, and I said, let's move to France in July. So then, as most people do, especially Americans, they they contact me and say, I'm here. There's so much that's happened. You said I was going to do this at this time, but I did it this time." And I said, okay. So I'm just checking my cautious. So in my mind, what I do, how I handle those are like, okay, you use your free will, you use the information, you tweaked it a bit. Nothing that hasn't been done in history. The royalty did it all the time with their royal astrologers. how can I assist you today? And so I just read, said you get a job, no problem, easy peasy. You'll have the money to secure yourself while you're there, because they're in a hotel and they have a, reliable friend who's saying, yeah, come hang out. But in my heart of hearts, I kind of felt like this isn't going to work because, they're ahead of schedule. They're there. The world, this place this place is there, but it's not expecting them. They're arriving and it's like, why here so early? Months early too. I thought that was good. I said July. They're like, it's the beginning of February. I'll tell you what. Well, January, it would have been January, about mid January. So then they contacted me back. That this would be yesterday, and the conversation was going well, except for one minor thing. They said that the job that they had, they felt too much stress and pressure, so they chose to resign. So they resigned. That means quitted professionally. The friend is like, you know, no way, at the hotel and running out of money fast. And because I don't have a job, if I don't get a job, then I'll have to return back to my country. And so I said, no worries. What I can see is, I told him what I see. It's like, don't worry, just apply yourself. You'll get a job within this remainder of February by the end of the March. But because they say, well, it feels like it's like what they had imagined in their ability to use law of attraction. And what I'm actually telling them, here I am, a psychic, telling them exactly this is how it's all going to play out. Because it didn't happen in the way that they wanted to in the mind. They said, well, but I thought this was supposed to be my destiny. And, I, everything has changed. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So then I replied, because I just immediately, because in my whole mind, I'm like being very gentle. It's like, I know you're not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be in July, but we can still, universe can accommodate. I would truly believe that universe accommodates according to your purpose. Like, no worries. But they made a big deal of it, of with the worry. And then when it, of course, what most people want to do, usually it's Americans, they want to shift it onto me, which I don't allow that, because I think that is abuse. Because I mean, I'm no one second kicking pole. So I said, so I ended it. So I said, after they said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I said, well, I just wish that had you gone in July as I instructed to France. And then I said, but if you and I are, complete from now, then from now eclipses dot dot dot. I hung up. I hung up. So that's how that conversation went. So so when I said that, every psychic knows they can't. I mean, out of all the billions of people that read for, you can't read for every single person. Now, that's why I believe it does not mean that the psychic, meaning that you're so complicated that we can't read for you. No, no, no. It's that if it sometimes people are are going to be difficult with that psychic, and it's okay to say, well, I can't read for you because honestly, we're too contrasted. We're too challenging for each other in our personalities. There are other psychics who will probably match up with you quite well, and you'd be willing to hear the same information, but from a different psychic and personality. And that's okay. That does not require thick skin or anything. It just requires, like, look, there are, like, I'm not the only psychic in the world who can give you wonderful information and context. There are other psychics who can, who may be best suited to give to deliver this kind of information. Maybe they need to hear from another person. But I was not willing to, because the person contacted me gloating. You said I was gonna be in France and at this time, and I'm here now, and it's just, I was like, okay, well, the information I gave you, you use it, okay, you then skipped ahead, but okay, so, and then I actually predicted that they would get a job, they landed a job, and then they're going to, she said, just resign. Oh, I'm like, some people are like, every which way that they can undermine the reading. I'm like, look, undermining readings aren't going to give you a seat, get you a seat next to me. There's no, I'm telling you, I'm listening here. I'm only one that's going to be allowed on the stage. I'm not letting anybody on the stage. I'm not, somebody's, okay, so I was on this other platform, and then somebody wrote, people always write in my little, the comment sections or something. They leave this big old like love letter, and they're like, email me. We're gonna collab, and you deserve this. You deserve, like, love bombing. I'm like, mm. I'm like, I have, like, I don't even reply. I'm like, I just leave it blank. But I'm like, no, actually, you probably just need to ask a career question. You probably just need to do a career reading. I just finished a lovely call with a doctor who was thinking about resigning, and I was like, don't resign. Stay exactly where you are. You have so much potential. And she's like, and this doctor, medical doctor, said, who works in a hospital with colleagues, who is recognized as in their profession as excellence, said, yeah, you're right. You're right. I can do this. I could take I could take the reduced hours and just, take, have better wellness from, taking care of other people. I can have wellness for myself. You're right. You're right. Yes, yes. I'm your psychic. This is what I do. So, so I don't have, people just say, all of these people who, don't have emotional control, they contact psychics. No, 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 no. Because you know what a true psychic will do? A true psychic will say, when people go to say, what should I do? I could not have done this without you. No, what a psychic is doing is saying, you did this. It was all you. You did all of this, and you did it on your own, and it's your ideas. How do you feel about it? And it all came true, just as you indicated in the reading, just as you said it would. Yeah, they're gonna say, "Yeah, you made predictions. You gave me hints. You did this," but you never let them feel like they don't have control, like that they have given up the will. You never do that. An excellent psychic always puts burden, the responsibility onto the person. That's why when the person contacted me and said, well, everything is opposite, it's flipping, and I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's why my response was, I said, I just wish, had you listened to me and gone in July as I had instructed. But, hey, no means no. So, like, but if you believe you and I should stop here, dot dot dot, like right away. Don't wait. That's how I mean, I say that from my gut up, like right here. Don't wait. No need to wait. Let's go. So, to be honest, one thing they say that you can't take the country out of a city boy or girl. When you come from California, you're going to return back to California. Like one thing will change you, perhaps. I'm telling you, is the northern winters, the northern blizzard, the cold has changed me. 'Cause I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go inside where it's warm. I am forever touched, okay, changed. So yes, if you catch that drift, it's a drift. um, but like I said, usually the readings are very respectful, always professional and excellence. But yes, when especially like if a person is saying, "What should I do?" The psychic, I always if they go to a place that's too shaky, or they seem to be too um, sensitive, or if they give me the sense that they're a little fragile in some areas, I actually will say, "Well, what do you intend to do first?" I said, I don't ask questions, but I want to see where your mind is at in our reading because without saying that this next part, because I'm guiding them to where they're going to be out in the world without me directly in their ear unless they contact me, but I want them to feel certain about their actions and their decisions and trust in themselves to fulfill those decisions that are discussed in their psychic readings. So that's why I don't challenge them. That's the difference. I don't challenge them. I've learned not to, even if you saying I'm not challenging you, it still is going to come across as challenging them, and they will feel like they're being insulted. So I had to learn how to deliver that without causing the, even though my intentions is never to, I would never be trying to insult a person in a psychic reading. That affects for the rest of their life. Somebody spiritual, right, who they're seeing as a spiritual leader and teacher, etc., and who is they feel like they are being insulted, that'll stay with them. So I would never want that. So, but I found a way to deliver that, like to ask them so I've learned to, so I'll say like, so if they say, I don't know, how am I supposed to feel about this? So I'll say, well, I don't, like if I'm stuck, like, I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to, and you want me to, one thing I don't do is read people's direct emotions because I know that's not my job to do. So what I'll say is, um, how is this situation causing you to address things in the present? Maybe even how do you even feel? And then they'll say, well, they'll definitively confirm, like I feel like I'm being, taken advantage of, being pushed over, pushed around. They definitely don't need me to psychically connect with that energy, with that emotion. No way. I don't need to drag that emotion to run up time. No, we're trying to get to some answers. That's where I want my time spent. When they say, you know what, as much as I want to call him out, the only thing he told me was all this stuff that is actually I'm doing right now and that are working for me. So I mean, to me, that's what a psychic does. A psychic just doesn't allow a person to even remotely think about positioning themselves to being emotionally taken advantage of or rendering up their free will, if you will. It's more like not only are you having them to take take control, not responsibility, but always are responsible, but taking control of what they're processing in that realm of emotions or thoughts, but also that they are accountable for all of the enrichment that they're going to experience or that they're experiencing in their life. When they're making breakthroughs, aha moments, I'll confirm like now that. You said something right there. I felt that. Ah, yes. That is what I really like when they say, yeah, I feel like this, but I know I should feel a lot more confident because I'm going to be better and I'm going to achieve a relationship that works for me. Then I'll say, that's where it is. You said it. That gets channeled out to the universe. That becomes affirmation that becomes a declaration. It's in the causal mind. It's shaking the universe. Like the other person who they're actually talking about, not talking about me. So I shouldn't be taking any of this stuff personally, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm pretty sure psychically, vibration wise, the other person who is wrong them feels that energy like shaking them. So that's what a psychic is doing in the middle of making predictions. Predictions that the reason why a psychic, especially a phone psychic, especially an available phone psychic, is never going to want to, as you would say, like sell a false expectation. Well, expectation, hope, the same thing. You might as well say wish. Because guess what? Every one of them can call that psychic because that's guess what? That's all. When is that? When can I speak to that psychic again? All you gotta do is check my schedule because I'm gonna be on time. Because I have to be. I have to be on time because it's rude to keep your clients waiting. And then when I am available, all they have to do is say, "Excuse you, you told me this." And you told me this, and I've notes. I've been keeping notes. You said this. The dates are here. It's changed. People will tell you. First of all, they don't have to tell me when I spoke to them or what we even talked about because I go in depth. I'm like, look, I'm in the Akashic Records. I just pull your book and read it. Isn't that amazing? I remember all of our conversations from over a year, 2 years ago. I'll go way back. And they're like, yeah, I said that. I'm like, yes. And then you said this and you made this happen and this, all of this is why this, and it's like a whole book written about me. I'm like, yes, absolutely. And the kicker is, everybody is, I connect with everybody like this. Everybody, just like this. So when a person says, well, you said, and they have it in their mind and they're trying to use, law of attraction and positive shaping thing, the mind and mind bending for the future. And I'm like, actually, I said this because I know, and even now, I won't fuss and battle with anybody unless, boy, one thing I can't I mean, I wish I could ward off, but I can't ward off for long. If a person said I say something and I know good and well, I didn't say that it makes sense in the reading up to date that I would say something like that. I mean, I was like, in your mind, you may have you hoped those things, but those words, those aren't words on my mind. Well, I will lose. I lose it then. I'm be honest with you. That's the time I lose it. I mean, there. I mean, I guess we all have our points. I'm forever working on mine, so that's one of the things I'm working on still. But I mean, I'm very polite about it. Very polite. It's just that there's just one of the things I just can't let go. Absolutely not. So I'm learning. I'm learning to, you know, love people in the way that I can, that does feel good to my soul. You know, let them know that I can psychically give them that sense of like connection, like I am here. A lot of my people before they even call me, especially I'm gonna be honest with you, especially the ones that I like. I think about them before they call. Who else do any one of us think about before they call you? Loved ones, good friends, family, lovers. your children, your your family, etc. Um, yeah. So like I'll be just minding my business, and then I'm like, oh, I'm getting insights, and I'm like getting doing. It's like the way it looks like is that I'm giving them a psychic reading. That's where, um, and also I have these weird dreams where I'm doing readings for people over the phone, but it's dark. It's dark. Like it's like all the lights are out, as though it's like night, and it's also, of course, in my room is dark, and I'm just like in my mind, I guess, talking to clients via the phone. I'm answering them. I'm having like these full on conversations with them. So either we're thinking about each other that hard during our sleep, or I guess like maybe it's an intense reading, or and I took it as, or I take it as, like I'm being prepped, and I just sort of kind of like eavesdrop behind the curtain, so to speak, of conversations that's to happen, because lo and behold, they contact me the next day. So, so I strive to guide my clients to places where I can experience universal love with them. And I don't take it wrong when clients don't, when we don't, like, let's say we don't, whether for whatever the reason, it just doesn't click. And let's say they decide to call me again, like after maybe a month or a few months, I welcome them back. I don't say, oh, so now you contact me back. Was I right about the things? Like, no, I don't even bring up this. Is I just I love on them. Like, that's why every client, even though they've been contacting me for years, my introduction is still the same. Is hello, my name, and you are. They're like, oh, I hope you're well, and how are you? And like, I'm here, and I love to read for you, and I have got things that I have been listening about you over the past couple of days. I knew you were calling. I've been actually expecting you because I've got this information to share. If you don't mind, they're like, yes, go ahead. Yes, yes. And I just start, I like, here it is. And they're so patient. They'll listen to the whole thing. And then, but here's the kicker, that they pick up with the reading, and right where they I just start talking to them, and like I've just known them all my life, and then or like they're just a relative, and we were just finishing a conversation, and then they'll follow in, and come to find out that the very questions that they anticipated asking and having answered, they those were the things that the guides guided me to talk about. That's what we're talking about. When I can do that with a client, that I do believe that there is a universal love there. Um, it's also the 11th commandment. Um, love the people, love the world as so Jesus Christ, I mean, has loved you. So that principle right there, the universal love. You know what I mean? When they're in that space, that's when when they're in that, I can connect with them, and they don't even need to, you know, tell me to start. I'm like, when the moment I go, like, how are you? Oh, they're like, I'm fine. It's always good to hear from you. And I was like, well, do I have some things to share with you today? And then I just like, here is the book. Let me grab your book, and I just, here goes this. Like, well, it's funny you should say those things. Like, I was reading one of my again, another one, and they said, what word I use words strength and resilience. And they said, that's funny you should say those words because that's actually going to be that's the name of the product that I'm launching is strength and resilience, and it's going to be written in Latin. So, oh yeah, and so, anyways, yeah, this is becoming insane. This is becoming so crazy. You know how these abilities are becoming a little bit more. They're becoming more sharpened as I go along, and I'm learning how to use them in different ways. But okay, so besides that, the my one of my I guess favorite gifts sharing with like my streams is my claircognizance. I use clair. That's the ability that I use to find. It's claircognizance is the ability to find, I guess, information or come by knowledge without knowing any of the information much. So that means like it helps. It guides me to where I can find research. Like I'll get a claircognizance connection to a particular situation. And then if I research it, it's like it's guiding me to very specific keywords and information. And how I stumbled across it was taking a college course in writing. And I had to, of course, you had to write, you had to write your term paper. And I used words like what's the name? Oh, I know. Let me see. Because it's a word I never. It's the first time I ever even heard vigilante. I used words like vigilante, and I went on. I was explaining all these things, and the professor returns the paper to me and says, "You don't know this. You don't know any of this. You don't have the proof." And so until that evening, so I had the class that morning. That evening, it was at 5 o'clock news, they welled on that work. I mean, vigilante, vigilante, vigilante. It was the same topic, the same. And I'm like watching. I was like, they stole my work. I was like, either they stole my work. Did my teacher send them my essay? And so that morning I went to school and I was saying, see, I was like, when she's handing back my paper, I said, by the or I was like, by the way, uh, it was on the news. See there, it was on the news, and I was like, she was like, well, did she literally stumbled, or the professor, excuse me, stumbled towards my desk. Like we're talking about a university here. You know how they are. They're like, go sit your beep down. Like they can cuss. I mean, like they're like, as soon as we're done, we're done. And I mean the professor could be standing on his or her head, on the table and seen it. So you know what I mean. So I mean, it's not like, I mean, you know what I mean. It's like get what you need and go. So she gives me my paper, and which she's also telling me, she wanted, she had me write to choose a different topic. I had to choose a different topic. But she told me, she says, she stumbles. I'm telling you, she stumbles literally to my desk. It was, the corner desk. It was a bit like it would have been the front row, right hand corner. So I'm way over there. She's in the middle. The professor, the podium is in the middle. And then, so she stumbles and makes her way all the way to my front desk and says, she looks square at me in my eyes and says, try to write, she says, write it down for us lower. Like, so that the ones down here can comprehend. It's like, I was so in, because she's a she is an elder as well. So, and a professor. So I'm like, and she's like what, five, maybe like 5'5", thin, articulate, classy. I was like, I feel so bad. I was like, okay, I know I'm paying for the class and you're supposed to get mad, but I'm like, I can let this one slide. I was like, it's okay. I'll see if you like another one. So of course I did. Went go on to do a process paper, and then she said, too excellent and long and boring because I did a process paper and it was all like refinery. She was like, she's like, don't you ever try to put me to sleep like that. So she like, come sit down with me. She says, don't you have anything exciting? Like, don't you have anybody ill in your family or something? So she made me write about something in that space. Then something juicy. Oh my gosh, she kept me writing. But I did enjoy her for what all it was worth, and I did get a lot from the class. But that was my time that I when I as I first experienced um, my first experience with my claircognitive ability. That's where I discovered it, because every time any of the professors would send me to the library, I always would connect with that claircognizant side, and I knew what to research. And I would end up finding things. It would always go beyond into this other territory, like a territory. I was like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but then it's like, for the like, it's for the good. It's for the greater good. Do it. So even like right now, so I used the gift and I started posting my videos onto the YouTube, my findings. And then of course, come to find out, they were like, it was like political. It's not what I say; it's the political aspect of it. But they said that it was connecting to Argentina. I'm like, what does anything I'm saying have anything to do with Mexico or South America? But nonetheless, I privated most of the video. That's why I privated most of them. They're still there. They're just privated so that I can have a healthy channel. I'm like, look, these days, the fight is worth it, but this is a vast world, and when you're kicked off one playground, you know, I mean, if we're honest, I mean, there's like five other ones near, in walking distance you can get to. Maybe you'll even find one with a swimming pool, so and an actual sandbox, and swing set. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so my professional side says this is just not the market for this particular product. So just go to the market where this product is grabbing, people are saying, okay, this is for us. We want this. So I did find a place, but then I just found something else today as well. Um, I will be able to sort of create a cloud, so it's of my live stream. So it's through my live stream feature software where I can actually go live, and I guess it's just hosted by my system is EVMux. So EVMUX. I love that. What happened? No, I don't want to jinx it. I'll just pay them. That's my way. Look, that's why I pay you. But yeah. So I will be able to do that rather than saying, okay, if you happen to be on this website, you happen to be on this platform or this platform, it's still me, and then maybe it's even more me because it's EV Max. So I mean, that's a long time from now. What's the other thing? Anything else? Well, what else I wanted to Oh, you already know that a lot also the reason. Okay, so what is the metaphysical reason? Why do I think that I kind of hit a wall here? Didn't I see it coming? Yes, but check this out. um, I am going to be producing books, so books on very specific style topics with a point, with an objective, of course, or writings in the form of the ebook. So I will be also incorporating that into my YouTube channel because I wanted everything to be on my YouTube channel, and where I wouldn't have to go to or direct people to other places because, to be honest, everything that I would be like directing people, I guess, to other, I guess, main hubs is actually is best. Like YouTube nailed it with the memberships, etc. So I will be able to offer more, not only offer more, but offer support and, of course, interact because my software allows for not only um, what they call like it's more like voice and chat, but no video or video and interaction or chat. However, like if sometimes people want to be seen, sometimes people don't. But yeah, without having to say, okay, call this number. Because I was going that route of like, yeah, 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 just call the number. And people did, but that's not necessary these days. Like, how do they find me? Online? How do they find me? No, what location? Where? YouTube. Okay, when they're on YouTube, you know, did they, does it allow for a link? Yes, I already tried it. So when you click the link, and so whether if it's on the smartphone or on the computer, it basically a screen opens up and it'll say, do you want to turn on you have a choice, two choices. Do you want to turn on the video screen to be seen, or leave it off and just talk? So a person can just talk to me, in other words. So that is perfect. So, and then of course, if they have to chat, then of course they're going to use a device to chat. They could just simply just chat in the chat box. They could simply chat. No problem. I don't need to create something, a space for that specifically. Um, and of course, it can, there's a lot of ways to create for, I guess, privacy because there are going to be some, I guess, member only live stream, but those are going to be my shows though. When there's a member only type of live stream, that's for something. And I had a vision that I would create a year's worth of shows, and then people kind of integrating into the ability to come in and, I guess, sort of VIP'd or kind of just embraced into the shows that they, whichever the ones they want to see throughout the year, membership level. So yeah, that's the route I'm going. So yeah, I have been daydreaming. I've been daydreaming. Besides just shuffling cards and doing psychic readings over the phone, but I'm seeing all alternatives here to grow the channel and what I will be doing. I'm excited about it because I know there's a lot of things that can be achieved, such as like community wise. I'm still figuring some things out, and I'm also learning to use this time also to take this a step at a time because I know about attracting the wrong kinds of attention that can get me distracted, get me set off course. And what I'm talking about is I noticed that in the beginnings when my channel started, like when my channel starts to do something, right? It starts to have life of its own. Somebody always comes and say, "Hey, I noticed your channel." Like, you want 1,000 more new subscribers. You want to make money. You want to do this. I'm like, you see my channel doing something all on its own without that, without you, and now you're wanting to offer something. I'm like, mm-mm. See, now if this was a perfect world, if when I was falling for that and I was like okay and open to that, And they actually, had used their powers that be to actually provide the service that they claimed. They would have only been paid, but would have kept uh, talking about it today. I'd be actually bragging about it to you now, and I would be referring, giving them referrals. I'd be like sending people there, like, hey, look, you should do this. And, they would just be immortalized because I'd be like going back to them even now. So, but they were like, just had to get that one hit, like, all for like, a one time $5,000 versus years worth of just steady business because you just simply know how to do the work. I mean, as a psychic, how many frauds that I have run into as a psychic, like I'm almost embarrassed to say for fraud. Like I don't even like saying them. I'm like, gosh, y'all, you all, I'm a psychic, and they're embarrassing me. My goodness. So I had to what they call it. I had to like learn quick, like distance my because what I'm telling you, once it only takes one of them to nip you one time, and they latch on, like that's why they call them piranhas, because they like, oh, now you're nicked, then the rest of them come out and they like come, like you get all these deals, like try this one. Try this, or open your browser, and you can integrate faster, like no, 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 no. It's like turn them all down and say no, 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 no. So, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to, yeah, that probably won't leave this video up. I just wanted just to come in and just spread out some good, put some good energy. I will be doing more videos. I will. And I absolutely intend to, of course, do the live psychic reading. Recently, I have interviewed and won my interview, uh, the remaining top company in amongst the industries. So I already, so there's only there's two. So I won one for sure, and so now, the one that I'm leaving off, I've done that one already for like 6 years or so, nearly seven. Before the pandemic, I left. So and it was just this one more that is top. Excellent, and they're looking for something the same thing I'm looking for, like. Um, their psychics stay with them for like forever. So, and I'm hoping I have the same experience as that, because they have welcomed me. They said it, they said, look, we only take on only but a fraction of those who want to be work with us, and we only like it's going to be the best of the best. So, look, my colleagues are going to be absolutely excellent, like the best of the best. So I'm thrilled to be in that knit group, special group. They told me that they said my I forget how they word it, impressive. It's like my experiences, and credentials are impressive and excellent. And so it's like everything that they're looking for. So that's what I was going. That's what I was going for. That's why I wanted to like put all my energy into being, like I said, no matter what, like don't allow anyone to call me doctor. Don't be called reverend. No, I'm a psychic. I am a psychic. and it's taken me a long time. I had to work out like very hard to get into that to to where now they're saying my credentials, my experience, is that's what I want. That's what I want to hear. Is incredible. Yeah, that's what I really want to hear. I don't know I'm ad libbing, but that's pretty much what it said, and that they did say definitively. I read it hundreds of times. They said we will contact you soon. So I'm like, yes, yes. Um, I think what this will do, it will. Now everything I'm doing here with you, I'm doing that already, but this is, of course, it keeps me disciplined. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me working. Like I know what I'm supposed to do. I am a psychic. I know that I am a psychic, and it should feel good to say that I am a psychic. And so, yeah, and it allows me to do that. And and I could say honestly, genuinely, that I'm with the best of the best, which I am adopting that, by the way. You'll be seeing that somewhere in quotes, best of the best. Um, Also, uh, I will be turning my camera back on. So yes, I will be visible. That means but I guess I've been right now I've been looking for this sort of aesthetic. I mean, I could turn the camera on and I know how I am. Well, I don't know if you know how I am, but I really like the aesthetics in I love it to be excellent. Okay. And so now there's a reason for me to make my video setting, appealing to the eyes visually as well as performing with excellence. So I will definitely see a what they call it an integration, into my YouTube sort of staging as well. So yeah, I want the same kind of like live stream staging, but simple but nice. In other words, yeah, that nice blue soft or purple color in the background, with me, light on me, and you can see my tarot cards pretty good, That yeah, I'm going for that look. I'm going to capture it. It's just I know it's going to take me a few minutes to try to get it right, but I've already scoped out the lights. It's coming, and and yes, I will actually be turning on my camera live and interacting with y'all. So yes, you are going to see me. You won't just, which somehow I flipped it. I used to always like it would take me all day, like hours, to prepare and just get the energy to. As I would think in my head, it's got to be right. I got to do this right. Then I'd finally go live, and I'd be like almost nearly exhausted, and I know that these auto like these lights draw it out of me. I mean, it takes a lot out of me for sure, but uh, I think the reason why is because it wasn't that the lights are taking out of me all of that. It's just that I'm doing it wrong. I wasn't getting no energy. I wasn't getting anything. I wasn't getting anything from it other than experience. But okay, I know how to do this now. So when I stopped doing that, then I started like just saying, well, for a while, let's just. I mean, they can hear me, and that's fine. And what they call faceless live stream. So I said, let me get into that for a second. So then, plus, it allows me to perfect in like how I want uh, the layout, like it helped me to work on my like I learned how to do my thumbnails the way I like them, add the words. Then I discovered this little like electric blue sort of neon flow going on here. I found that, so I was like, okay. I had a little background flare. I don't even know what the proper names, so I'm just making up some words, but it sounds right. Like look like lava, like a lava lamp in the back. Yeah, the ticker and down below. I was like, it looks nice. I can handle that. So I was like, yeah, do something with that. So now all I have to do is just put me in when the, put the video in the middle and have my little layout and have my cards laid out, and I'll be reading for you all next. So that anyway, that is the intention. Now, so with that, now I'm gonna have I'm gonna have books and ebooks soon coming. Well, they're gonna be applied because my channel will be at the stake to what they call it, to offer it better. So I've been looking into that to make sure that everything can integrate just right here to YouTube, because my goal was, I almost steered away from my goal by accident, but my goal was that, like, to obtain anything that the person needs from me as a psychic, they wouldn't need to leave YouTube page. They would not need to leave the page. It would just, everything and anything that I would have, it'd be like right there on my YouTube. Because I know that, you know, I guess the trend is you go but so far with your YouTube, and then you go and you apply another platform to sort of create a balance. I understand, I totally get it, but for now in my head, I think that, and also I'm listening to what YouTube is telling me when they said that my only foul ball is one, is that some of my videos are considered, um, like it goes against the YouTube's, it says political advertising, but when you ask them, I mean, when then they put where is the issue? They always say Argentina, but I never mention Argentina, not even a little bit. And I thought, no, maybe I was reading an article, because there's this one article I think that may have indicated. So I was trying to hunt for that, and I did a little few tests. So basically, after I made all of them private, I chose a few that specifically were not political, but they're on the edge though. There are world prophecies, but I also in the unison I did include, on a separate test, a video that is political but no Argentina. I made sure 100%. I said this one does not have anything about Argentina. And both occasions, on both of them, it said, um, against YouTube's guidelines, political advertising, meant won't allow it to go through. The system catches it. Where it has a bullet point, and it says Argentina. I'm like, if they could please get rid of Argentina off of my advertising go to, which I was hunting and trying to do, and I did everything right. I said, I'm only gonna advertise two, and I said very specific ones, but still yet, nonetheless, or to say to the least, Argentina always come up, even after I self-corrected and said, okay, well, we're not marketing to anywhere South America, just only, these other ones. I mean, like other on the other side of myself, and still it said, mm-mm. So that kind of answered my question. They said no, these particular product or content not in the right market. So so I said okay, they're going to stay private. So it's this, and then after I submitted, I submitted to my findings. I mean, my findings. I submitted to my findings, my facts. My That's when the channel started doing all this flips. The channel went from, how many subscribers did I have? Like I had like in my 20s. I had like 35 or 60 something, something like that. And then after it broke a thousand, I was, oh no, when it was reaching, when I reached over 100, It only oh yeah, they to buy me out, all I needed was 100 subscribers. Big. And then next thing it went, I was like 500 marker. I was like one more, and I'm gonna be at 1,000 subscribers. So now I'm at like what close to well, I'm in 3,000 range, like 375 or something, maybe 38. I don't know, 3,000 and something like that in subscribers. And my now my hours are actually going up. So now the hours are going. So people are watching the streams, they're joining in. So I'm like, I can submit to my facts. My facts and my findings gave me positive results in the end. And besides, when it comes time to share important, I know where to guide you all. I have a safe place to like look if you want to see ultimatum to offer, excuse me. I'm not guiding you anywhere that you don't want to go. But when it's like to offer it, like look, if you like this kind of, content, then here it's over here. So until I can figure out, but eventually I won't even, maybe I'll even skip even that part and say no, instead of, because they do have on my EV Mux where you would just go to particularly my EV Mux stream page, and there it would be without anyone having to like visit a platform that they may not care for the platform. They just might look, I just really want to see this content and then get out of here. So I don't, I don't want to put anybody off or anything like that, or direct any to anybody anywhere that they don't want to go. So my goal is to make it as simple as possible without it having to be a Vimeo or anything like that. Nothing wrong with Vimeo. I love Vimeo. It's just that currently EV Mux is working excellent for me. It's doing a phenomenal job. And also they're growing. They grow. Like they're coming out with these new features that I'm enjoying a lot. And I don't mind saying that. So um so oh, now I got it. I got it. Without now I don't, yeah, you're right. I don't have to send anybody over there. They can get it right off because when okay, so how do I tend to share my books? My ebooks or however sometimes I know people might say, look, you're at a place where if you wanted to produce an actual physical hard copy book, I will be in that place, that spot. That's my goal, be that kind of psychic. But they also offer digital uh, like digital products. So I would just incorporate the digital product, and then so I would just simply provide it there. And yes, I can even make it the product free. So it's not about these are not about like selling these particular ones. I mean, these are not the ones I was going to put behind a paywall anyway. That wasn't my goal. These were genuine from the heart, universal psychic predictions. I think that are just awesome, and it wasn't. Because I think that the videos that you all like, which brings us to then what information or what do you bring now? Now that you're okay, you're supposed to be a psychic, but I don't see no psychic readings. Well, so I'm preparing the formatting and getting an excellent starting point to start doing my psychic readings live. So you'll be able to see me working with my tarot cards, whatever it is, whatever I'm going to be doing for that live stream, answering questions, etc. Of course, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it in a way that's not done anywhere else, maybe in the way my delivery. I'm also making it where everybody can have access to the psychic part end of it without having, to feel excluded. So yeah, I got that all planned out. I won't go into that again. 'Cause I can go on and on about how my awesome ideas on that. Um, and So the oh, okay, I'll give you a little bit. The goal is that no one to like I guess it's the tier. I'm eliminating the tier based aspect. So it's not like a tier is based on what you want, rather instead of a tier. So it's not so much, oh, at level three you get this and this and this. It's more like if you're interested in these metaphysical subjects, if you're interested in this spiritual subjects, if you're interested in this ancient writings type of subject, if you're just interested in the astrologies or just kind of like the readings, having the personal reading subjects, or if you just like to hear certain odd conversations about the psychic world type, so it's going to be more like that. It's more like, okay, what are your interests rather than, well, what is your budget? Rather than saying that, like, what's your budget? Do you want tier one, two, or three, or four? So instead of saying tiers and making classes, it's more like, oh, you like Kundalini yoga. I have a stream on that. I have a stream just to talk about like meditation and the best ways to understand meditation. So it brings me to what is the other side of the videos that I'm enjoying. I love talking about the scriptures, like the Bhagavad Gita. I also did one stream recently. It's the new stream, I guess. I actually have done streams of the Bible, but this is a particular stream, and it's a more recent one. The other ones are actually in private, is with all the other ones. Um, yeah, so what goes on my, I guess, the natural, like, just when I just hit the live button is when I come with a purpose. Like this one is just, I just want to move some good energy through my channel. That's all I'm doing. Right. I might say anything. I'm going to talk about anything. Um, it's just whenever I plan to come and speak, then it's like the Bhagavad Gita, and then I'll kind of get a rough idea of what I'm going to talk about during that time. And then, of course, like in the last, okay, so the last one I have this huge book, and it's basically like a big journal book, but it's huge. And I filled up 2 pages of spiritual definitions just for this particular, it's one live stream. So, and I only used like three of all of the definitions out of the several 2 pages full of them. Um, so, I mean, just to make a point. Um, so I love doing those, and those I think people are more drawn to. They may even be more drawn to them even than me coming in doing the psychic readings. Psychic readings come in, like, my psychic readings have to compete literally with my readings of the Bhagavad Gita. But I also did a live stream where it was strictly reading scripture. But when I read scripture, I don't like read the modern versions. I read it from translation, from like Hebrew to English or Greek to English, and it's always with a point. Like I don't go bounce. It's not a sermon. No, no. I'll like read an entire chapter, for example, and I only interact with that chapter. But usually, like, okay, so the reason why I did it this time is because in one of my spiritual definitions, offered examples of, for the sake of the information, the Yahweh Elohim being a god of fire, and then it references that the spirit is, of course, of fire, and of courage, etc. But then, that information was matched to a definition, which is referred to as Agni, which is a term that represents fire or flame. And so then that brought me to the conversation of the Bhagavad Gita, also depicting God as fire. or elements of fire a lot, connected with righteousness and the burning away of one's my illusions, insecurities, and things of that nature. Some cases, even fear. So I knew they were going to correlate, but then I thought, well, why have both of these scriptures? And because it could be confusing if I have them in the same stream. So I did them separate. So someone actually who more favors the Bible might find that stream interesting, right? And may not show as much as interest, or they might be open minded now that they heard me speak on the subject. Maybe they might say, "Well, let me hear what this one like. What are the nuances between the two?" The Bhagavad Gita on this particular subject, especially with the Deuteronomy, but the Holy Bible, um, Old Testament. So that was where I was going for, and who knows? I'll try to make it interesting and maybe you know make it feel like an adventure. I'll try my best. Maybe it'll be an adventure, and people will do something daring. You never know what people might do when they're comfortable at home. To themselves. Or getting ready. For their day, and here they're listening to some uplifting. It's spiritual, but at the same time, it's drawing from the secular language, and but making correlations. Maybe they may find inspiration, to look a look with a new set of eyes, renewed eyes, not changing minds, not a new. There's nothing wrong with their lens, but just a new just from another new perspectives, and maybe they'll get something from it then. So I thought that would work. So I will perhaps continue on that journey because honestly, that's also why I'm interested in doing writing, right? So if I'm doing writing, I can never run out of information like this. It will never happen. So I have eternal information on this subject, and it's also always, I never get tired of this space, just like I never will get ever tired of doing readings. So that will always have a place. It's just that yeah, my I guess those other subjects kind of could take. I mean, they can overshadow my readings actually, to be honest. I think because I mean the views that I receive. I mean, they're neck and neck, but there's just one video. I don't know what that. I'm looking. I'm trying to think. Okay, what was about this video that people are like, I can't get enough of it because it has like 11. It has something like 11,000 people, and it's monetized. I mean, it has ads. It was not monetized for me, but it has ads running on it. So yeah, I do have. But to be fair, I have actual psychic readings where I'm literally answering my phone and talking and doing, providing psychic connections with people via YouTube and just doing like a universal reading. And those do have ads running on them as well. So that kind of helped with my fear because my fear was I don't know why so in the past I would try to do I guess readings and I would just be reading my tarot cards and then they would take up issue with my cards and I don't know if it was because of something that I said before, but what I'm thinking is what it may be is what they're telling me today because they did have videos up where I had read like some like for like if as a clairvoyant I get insights about people, famous people, diplomats, right? And what do? I do what any psychic is going to do. I share them to my YouTube channel. And I think that those were maybe triggering for all of my channel, just as Here recently, I found out that all of my channel was sort of in this bad way, they're in this bad shape because I had content on the channel that was not in the right that was not in the right market. And then when I kicked them off or kicked them into private, then the channel became lifted. So, and the psychic readings where they're like focusing on universal stuff. They go into very complicated and sophisticated, things that's just we're all are going through. Shy of, I mean, yeah, one can say, use a little bit of wit, to sort of speak um, about like bringing light to certain issues, and then it may not come across as okay, you're showing like if I'm reading between what's the correlation between two presidents, people running for presidency, for example. Okay, so here's this astrological chart. Here's his astrological chart. Let's see how they correlate. Rather than that, I just would just yeah, I just was just reading. Look, this is what I see. I would note that they think, people who are saying, I used to say all the time, people may think or say that something is wrong with the economy for 2024. I'm saying this in 2023 in my videos. I say, but wait until they're going to be laughing when this flips, because this is 2024 is a year of the wood dragon, the year of resources and wealth. It's a year of business, and people were already mapping out who they're going to work with as far back as October. People, by the way, toxic people who are like, hold up, you can't come any further. Thou shalt not pass. Those folks, they had all of a sudden in their world, they had things to go chase after. They're like, their world was shaken in October. Toxic people's worlds were shaking in October. They had to run off, go handle their stuff, which, well, what does it do for people who are just trying to get through, right? Get by. Well, they have an open path, basically what I was saying, preaching or predicting all through October. And then November was the month to celebrate all of those occurred partnerships. So like people were getting yeses, and people were shaking hands, and deals were getting signed, contracts embraced. People were planning that they're for sure they're going to make a move, or they're going to move physically, or they're moving to another country. All of these beautiful things. November is all about like celebrating the good, like these long term partnerships and agreements. December was a downtime, and then January would be the starting off. And I find that people were like hitting the ground hard. Some people were like, "What's going on?" And we called them up. They thought that okay, they understood that a change was happening. They're like, "Is this happening for me?" Like for me. But their most concern was, what about? But every time this happened, what about all the toxic people? I was like, no, 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 no. Let's not wait on them to come back. And like they've been doing other things since October. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them right now. In fact, um, this year, if you may notice, like it's not even been easy, like personally for ourselves individually, to connect with dark places. Like, okay, so if we think back, like 2018, for example, just throwing out a number, 2018 for sure though, um, you know, people could find many reasons not to go forward. They're like, I'm not ready, I'm not this, I'm not that, but what about this person? The things they said to me, it was like, like how can I look forward towards the future? There isn't one. There isn't even a present, like right now where my issues are. So they don't know all that conversation. But now, so in 2024, it's like we can't even reach that space. Like there's no one even talking in that area. Now I do have people who, they just. I think that people who just there are people who are going to force it. They're just going to say some stuff. And you know why? Because that right they're being either okay. What were they being sarcastic? Because I made the comparison of Aries and Sagittarius, which means okay. So Aries people are not known. They're not known for tact. Or they're tactless. They're not known for tact. They're tactless. Aries can be, but when you add the Mars, the Aries, with the tactlessness with Sagittarius or Saturn's cynicism, then you get something else completely, and it's not nice. So yeah, it gets really bad. And I forget the word that I used. I did that. I don't know if I even have it. If I remember the exactly what did I refer to it as, but I had it all spelled out. I don't know. It might be here. I think I got it here. Oh yeah, it should be. Is this the one? Um, Let me see, because I can't think of the word right offhand. Because it was a lot that I was covering. Because I was basically letting people know that they should focus on their strength and becoming centered. And this would be a time to focus on like things like home. Connecting with family is good too. Connecting with family, especially the like if you have kids, like maybe adult kids as well. It's a great time. It does a lot because there was a lot of emphasis on the fifth house in that time when I had this conversation. As I remember, oh boy, I'm just sometimes I get a little bit lost, so everything kind of looks. I'm flipping all these pages, and I'm here seeing is words, 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 words. It's I can't wait to put them in an ebook. Um, if I can't find it, just know that it's bad. Um, the combination of tactlessness and cynicism, really bad. It's real bad. It's a really bad one. But I just can't think of where I actually put it. It's lost information. It's somewhere around here in one of my journals. Uh, if I if I think about it, I know I did it in a stream. It's the one with the lion on it that says something about arriving home or coming home. It's in one of those. Yeah, it's in that stream particularly. That for sure, 100%. And it may even be in the description box. So where it's at, because I don't think I'm gonna locate it. But yeah, it's not good. It's not a. It wasn't good. So people were coming off that way in conversations, and yeah, people weren't happy. People were not very happy. Um, Maybe it's in this one, but if it were, uh, yeah, it would definitely be talking about Mars. Well, anyway, I won't dwell on it. This is what I'm talking about. This is what makes it so difficult for me to, whenever I want to talk about something specific, it's it's always hunting, and this is where the journey begins. And then if I keep going, I'll end up thinking about like something else will hit me to study and to talk on, and then I'll start talking on that. So I should, just to keep focus, I probably, if I had the sense, just to close these books and say, you know what, just call it. Just let this one go. I mean, because at least I can direct you to where the information. I can do that. I can offer that. No problem with that. Okay, I'm gonna look one more time because actually, that be honest, that's one of my favorite ones. One of my favorite thoughts too. So if they could just grant me this, that would be great. Otherwise, it might be in the description box. I may have written it in. Um, but it sounds like something I would do. I might have to look it up and see. Um, Lots of things about um, Yahweh Elohim of Israel's proof, evidence or argument establishing or helping a fact or the truth of a statement, um, denoting a trial impression of a page or printable work. Okay, I guess this is something that is proving something about Israel that I was writing about. That's going to be interesting whenever I come back to that. So read. Okay, well, so what mindset was I in when I wrote that? Yeah, I will come back to that. Maybe that will be one of the things I described in a book at some point. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, I yield to that. I'm going to see. Now I'm interested. I'm going to let it go though. Hello, well, Andrea. Well, let me see. How did I? Okay, see, you're not showing up in my. You didn't show up in my comments. Oh, it didn't show up for some reason. Okay, you showed up, but not your comment. I just saw you. It goes. I don't know when you. Let me see. It doesn't even have a time. Hello, my spiritual sister and family. Ah, you're always welcome here. You're always welcome. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to be mindful of that. Next, now I know why I gotta leave. I was trying not to open up any kind of uh like so many browsers. I was trying my very best. Okay, so it would be here. Okay, finding strength from home. That's gonna be where to find it. And it says, did I write it? Please have written it. No, actually it's not in the description either. Well, I know I talk about it in that one. That's the one it would be in. Um, well, let me see. Maybe Age of Aquarius. To anticipate Aries limitless. It might be either in Age of. I'm pretty sure it's in the first one with the lion on it. Um, I might have talked about it like maybe had it's like 25 minutes long. It sounds like yeah. Oh yeah, it probably been Age of Capricorn into the Age of Aquarius 2024. So it might be in that one. I won't play it for you. If you want to check it out and maybe it's in one of those, that's where it might be found. That's where it might be found, okay? Just saying. Oh boy. Let me see. I have one more place. Let's check it out. We'll see. Hmm. And then I really am gonna call it. Let me see here. Nope. I can't believe I wouldn't have written that somewhere. What was I thinking? I just, a lot of like, in 2024, yeah, a lot of that. But, okay, last one. Saturn, entered to the new age. Nothing, but nothing on that. Nope. Okay, I call it. It has eluded me. Oh boy. See, whenever I begin actual writing, this means I'm gonna have to like get it done quick and like be done with it. Like, write it all out, put it in order, put it in, publish it, and be done with it already. Like, I think that's how I'm gonna have to move because if it's because yeah, it risks being lost and these my many ways of getting information onto paper. I keep saying, oh, it's I keep all these journals because they keep me organized. But the problem is that when you put tons and tons of information, it's gonna look like it looks like formulas and words. That's what it looks like. Like astrological formulas and parts of beginnings of like introductions to essays or writings. A lot of those, a lot of those. So that's what it's starting to look like here. Oh boy, I get better at it. Just I just need a flow. I need practice. Ah, well, anyway, I wish I could remember that. It's not tyrannical. I know it's not tyrannical, but um, it's not a kind word either because it's not. Because I even was going over with my clients about it. Let's see. Clients were also asking about it. Well, I was telling them that okay, the whole point of it was okay, so we know people are like this. How do I get around it? And so I was telling them how to elevate, how to get around it. So it was kind of important for the times, that particular subject. But so the last piece, I absolutely, um, yeah, I didn't even write it in my Word, Microsoft Word. It's, but it is written down somewhere, but it's not going to reveal itself to me. It's not hopping out for me. They're like, no, if you just remember that from memory, please. This is asking me to remember, go by my memory, and it's not working right now. But yeah, basically, it was saying. So just imagine what it the phrase how I phrased it was so awesome. That's why I can't let it go. I can't believe I'm gonna. It's like telling a joke and you only can remember half of it. It kind of ruins the whole experience. But I could give you the rundown. Basically, it's saying there are people or in conversations, and you'll notice that it's like they're being tactless. No, that can have some humor to it. But then, okay, so Saturn people or Sagittarius, they're noted for having dry humor. Okay, you'll let that slide, right? Dry humor, but because you're like, oh yeah, yeah, this humor is very dry, or or whomever. But then, though, then it can become cynical, cynical. Oh, that's it. That's the word. It's okay. I was lost in the phrasing. Now I got it. tactlessness linked with the dry humor. At least I think that's it. Is it leads to being cynic, like cynical, and people didn't. Oh yeah, because people didn't like the cynics. This was over the past week though. This may have kind of waned. You might be in a better place with it now, but this would have been like the past maybe 9 days, like the start of February. The cynicism of people. So you might say, well, that was a bit tactless, but then you'll smile it away. And then, of course, the dry humor. But when you link it together, then it's being just cynical. Now you're just being cynical. So that's what people was like. People were being affected by that energy, and I was explaining to them that okay, so I was caught up by dry humor. I lost dry humor somewhere. I didn't explain. Okay, so like the personality, with the fire Aries and the fire Sagittarius, the dry humor Saturn and the tactlessness of Aries. But when they're like linked and tied together, it's quite cynical. It comes across as cynicism. That yeah, I could tell. I see it in my mind. That's what we wrote down. The cynicism, if I'm saying that correctly. The cynics were coming, where it was allowing people to be come across as cynical, and that was an issue because the people who I was working with didn't know how to navigate because it was like when people would go way low. They would go low, but way low. It was like, how is this even? It was like in the settings. It's like it's a little bit shocking. It's alarming, and so I was telling people like, look, yes, when you feel that energy, this is what you've got to do. You've got to um, focus inwardly and channel your energy like home. Again, we mentioned earlier, children, channeling it with if you're depending on what age, like you might have children already grown up, channeling it with them, any like at home specifically energy, and that helped to elevate. It elevates you. That energy because it's coming from, it's the uh, in the triangle. It's the third fire, which is Leo or the fifth house, which has a lot to do with creativity. It has a lot to do with like the individual, the person. It's very healing, and also the home. It's associated with the home, or it's part of. It's more like the addition to the home because the sign for Cancer is home, but the Leo is more like the life in the home, especially like ones like uh, like young ones and such. So when you connect with home and the life giving force of your home, it helps to divert the energy from, well, this would have been 9 days ago, so I'm pretty sure the energies have shifted by now where people could just navigate a little bit better. So you might find like arguments getting petty, so petty that you're like, you know, like picking your feet off the ground type petty because I mean, they're that low. So if you know what I mean, it's that low. So like low, not to be humorous, but to be outright just despicable and hurtful. The worst thing that they can come up with. That is where they were going, and they weren't trying. They were like removing all the feathers, anything that make one smile. The butterflies, they didn't want that. They left all that out. They only was going for the like bringing the iron and the the open tin can with the lid, awkwardly, you know jagged and turned up. Bring that. They wanted to cause harm. So that's the energy that we were getting. So I was saying, instead of buying into that energy, because that energy is toxic. Oh boy, they talk about we talk about water signs being toxic, like the undertow of emotions. But when I mean, Sagittarius, like fire signs, oh boy, it's like it's so toxic that it's like you, especially with the Saturn part, the Saturn element with the Sag. I know the planet for Sag is Jupiter, but the when the Saturn is connected, bringing in that affecting the well, it's going to affect Aries regardless because it's karmic related, but then also like Sagittarius dry humor, making it more drier, more cynicism. When you connect with that energy, it's like only thing I can describe it as trying to operate something without maybe something that it needs in order to operate smoothly. You know, where it's like grinding the wheels, like whether if it's operate without oils, without gas, like trying to do something, and you know good and well that if you do it, it's going to be destructive. It's going to cause more. It's going to cause harm. It could destroy your machine. It could ruin your reputation. That's what Saturn influence does, or that that toxic fire vibration can do. So, I mean, we talk about it rarely, but we talk a lot about how toxic other signs, but we very rarely do we talk about uh, like the fire signs. The fire signs can be, they have a toxic element to it as well. That people spend more time in it than they even care to notice. Because especially like psychically, I don't even connect with that. As a psychic, if when I'm reading toxic, well, now any kind of toxic energy, but especially like when it's a fire, but it's, I can sense the Saturn element. I always read it from a distance. They're like, "Oh, come over here." I'm like, "I'm fine. What do you need to know?" They're like, like, "Are we in a good place?" I'm like, you know, "You need more time. It'll get better, better, better." Good luck, good luck, good luck. But I do not like getting into that. Oh boy, that's a messy energy, and as it's like psychic energy. I mean, psychically, it's messy. Um, but especially when people are like, because honestly, a good psychic, especially a sensing visual psychic, will be like, "Excuse me, I don't. I mean, I love reading for you, but why are we in Hades?" Because you're like, because sometimes the whole point of going into the psychic realm is to explore. Like, look, I'm exploring. Okay, just entertain me. It's like, okay, but just like be mindful. Like that's when any good messenger is going to say, "Look, you look. I am the messenger." Okay, so like as a messenger, I know when. That's why Mercury has, why he's so fast. Why he has wings on his shoes, on his sandals. He knows. He's like because when he needs to get out of there, he can get out of there pretty quick. Because like whenever they describe him, he looks nimble. Like he can run fast and run for a long time. He's a thin man. He's nimble. So Mercury. So Hermes. So messenger, Greek god messenger. So it's like he can get out of spaces when he needs to. So that's why God built him that way. So I'm like, look, any sign of trouble, I am out. Okay, I'm out. So that's what I'm learning. I'm learning to know, like, okay, I can still read it. It's just that I know the experience is, well, can't you, like, aren't you empathic? So I'm like, because I read it like, okay, so this is what I see, but then I say, well, then they'll rephrase it and say, how do you feel? Like they know I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to feel like, so that's the beauty of being able to choose. I'm like, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm actually more. I'm a visual psychic, and that's what it is. I'm a visual psychic. So I'll tell you what I see, if that's okay. Okay. Um, but I do show grace. I will connect, or as you say, feel when it's safe. But it's just that I'm sensing everything, and I can sense when it's because the person just like they don't want to let go. And it kind of remind me of, what's her name? Is it Rowena on Supernatural? And her her son Fergus, he's a king of the underworld, right? In the movie, this is a series. Death, uh, whose name is Billy. Uh, he, I guess, he transcends, he crosses over. He's like, and Rowena is like this very powerful witch in the movie. And she goes, he can't die. I mean, gee whiz, he's the king of Hades. He's king of the underworld. He can't die. And then there's this one scene I can't get out of my head where she's like, she thought that she had trapped Death herself, the Lady Death herself, and she gave all, like more than half of, like, a century's worth of power over to Death, trying to bring her son back, who she had not appreciated while he was, I guess, living as someone who is beyond the living, over who rules over the dead and demons and fallen angels in Hades. But anyway, so she gives up. She ends up losing, like, over. It would take her a century's worth of meditation, which is so telling because that's similar to, like, reincarnation. It kind of taps into reincarnation. The fact that she's going to live that long to what do they call it? What's the word? Channel, concentrate, meditate. They have a funny word for it. Uh, Starts with a C. Cultivate, like the thousand, and of course, 1,000 years, 1,000 lotuses to gain this power back. From having tried to bring. And it's not like she's. I mean, and plus her character. I mean, is not an immortal. So that's like 1,000 years of her, whatever span of lifetime she's gonna live. So it's a very interesting. I mean, that how they write some myths or stories. There's some truths. So sometimes I can feel when a person is like, they're willing to test their luck, and they are saying they want they there's no coincidence saying, okay, I asked you what you saw, but I'm asking you what you feel. Well, I'm like, no, 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 no. I do not want to be a deva or be a genie or any. No way. No, that's borderline cultish to me. I'm like, no, I don't want that, because what happens? Somebody call you, and then now they're mad because it didn't go their way, because maybe they didn't follow the instructions. That happened to me the other day. Oh my goodness! And then said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm like, no, no does mean no. But before you go, this is the reason why I wanted you to wait till July before you go to France. But this is your call. You know, dot dot dot. I mean, like, right away, let's go. So, I mean, the end. That's it. Don't need to say it again. No, one no is sufficient. That's okay by me. That's okay. So, but so that be, even though I did the right thing, I felt, and I stand by it. but to imagine that I know that I mean, no matter how many times that people do that, I'm not saying they do it every day. It's like a bunch of people doing this, but the fact that it happens, it almost is. It's like I look at it as brand new. Like today, it happened again. Like today, it happened for the very first time. No, it's happened, like throughout my career, where people have, wanted to somehow, whatever beef they have with God, they want to take it up with the psychic. And I'm like, but my first thoughts are like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I do go on the defensive on that, on stuff like on that kind of thing, because I'm like, do you know how hard it is to be me? I know you see my profile and you know exactly what I'm like. You choose me to do this with. I'm like, no, don't swing low. Like, I mean, if you're gonna swing at, like at God, I mean, go all out. Go all out. Like Nimrod, go all out. Like build a ladder up, going up there and like swing on. But like, don't aim low. So yeah, I lost. I kind of lose it on those. So that's gonna take a little time to get through. But hey, we all are working on something. So, but I never. But one thing. One final piece. I gotta say this. I never ever called someone out of their name in a psychic reading. I've never said a cuss word during a psychic reading. Yep, I don't do that at all. Those are like, I don't know what it is, but it's like I remember being very young, and well, that'll have to wait. Okay. So, oh my gosh. So then, oh boy. So where are we at? I then forgot the conversational thread. Well, I was going to go into it. I was going to go into that conversational thread. Well, it's okay. I will check this out. Um, I will. I will have to start back up the conversation at another time. I'll let this one go. I'm going to close out this string and I'll try to get the music right. I don't know if the music that I was playing was the right one, so I will kind of look to see if I can correct that. But at least, I had a chance to come in and sit here for a little while, get the energy flowing in the reading, the reading, in the stream. We covered a lot, and I'll leave this one up for a little while. I don't know; it depends. I might leave it up, but I will come back, especially if I find a new feature that I want to try out, and we'll share soon. We'll see if I can share any maybe psychic findings or astrological findings